Now, the question is, where do we go from here? It looks like CM Punk is locked in with feuding with Seth Rollins, this potentially with his wife's. What about LA Knight? What I'm seeing on Raw, it looks like, are they setting up something between him and Jey Uso? Some tension there? Or is it going to be more so him and Jey Uso teaming up with Big Jim and they're going to go up against Bronson and Breaker?
Yeah, I think they're setting up a War Games. You're going to have the Usos, LA Knight, probably Roman Reigns, one team, then have the Visionary on the next.
I thought LA Knight, and I love how he said to both the Bronze, you guys repeated 8th grade 3 times.
I love LA Knight. He's a magician on the mic. He really is.
I think Bronson Reed has some good stuff. He said to Jey Uso, all yeet, no skeet. Like there was
that was a good one.
This good greasy, and then LA Knight, greasy warthog, and cross-eyed halfwit. There's some good stuff. This is how you get us back in there. Like, I mean, that's why LA Knight, man.
Yeah,
they got to do something with him.
Right now, I don't see a path for him to get the title right just yet, but his time's got to come. Like, it really has to. Within the next year, it's got to come.
We have that win over Seth Rollins.
I mean, that was when he faked his injury.
That's pure cinema.
Oh, my legs, my leg, me. I am a god, CM Punk. You'll never be champion again, long as I live.
But speaking of Kabuki Warriors, why is Io always apologizing to Asuka and them for, like, it really seems that Asuka really doesn't like non-Japanese people. Asuka doesn't like her talking to Rhea. I don't understand the connection between Asuka and Rhea. I don't know if they ever face each other or if they've had like a blood feud.
No idea.
Just straight up racism.
Very possessive, and poor Kairi, she's caught in the middle, and you see how Asuka's like yelling and demanding her to come there.
What? So then clearly Asuka's going to the dark side. Kairi is stuck in the middle. She's going to have to choose. There's something coming.
And did I call it that they were probably go with Io with Stephanie Vakir? Yeah, they weren't going to do the Rhea yet.
Yeah.
With the Io.
No, it does. You're right, guys. They're good dance partners.
It should have been Roxanne and Stephanie. I think they should have saved Io and Stephanie.
It doesn't make sense putting Roxanne in there because she's on a losing streak. You got to put someone with a little more cred. You can't put Roxanne, who doesn't deserve a world title shot. What has she won?
Isn't Io on a losing streak too, though?
She did lose to Roxanne, did she not?
She did.
To Roxanne.
Yeah, but the bigger match is Io versus Stephanie Vakir.
I agree, because you need to have a past champion in there to help fight for it. I don't think you put 2 rookies in there. I mean, main roster, just being up. They
should have had her on the PLE, like before Becky and Nikki. You would have got a way better match if you had Roxanne, Stephanie Vakir, Io, any one of those. They should have had Stephanie on there, but.
I agree, but yeah, the company doesn't, they're not always making the best decisions, are they?
But a match that'll make some traction is, I think, Io versus Stephanie Vakir, because Io doesn't have to win this match. It doesn't make sense, like you said, Matt, to have Rhea in there. It's just too big of a match. But I don't think that Io's too big a match, but it's a big enough match. And also that match will help set up Io's program with Asuka. Asuka will probably interfere in there somehow. So that can set...
Asuka's probably going to cost her the match.
Yep.
That can also benefit Stephanie Vakir, because her character is about, I'm gonna wrestle and show you and earn it. So her winning the title and kind of like, well, I won this title under kind of dubious means, could set up her character where she's like, I'm going to defend this like every week. And that's what you pull the Bret Hart, defend the title all the time. So if she wins the title, have Stephanie, give people a shot at the title, and she's a working champion. That's how you can really legitimize Stephanie Vakir. And then the Devil's Kiss. Come on, man. People are craving the Devil's Kiss. When's the last time we've seen the Devil's Kiss? Evolution, right?
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere around there. It's been a while. I like to see it though. Yeah, I could see Asuka costing Io the match. Then Stephanie gives Asuka a match after. then does a devil's kiss on her and like lays the face paint she's got on her face on the ring like a perfect imprint. And then Io could cost Asuka the match, and that sets up the feud between Io and Asuka.
And then you can kind of interchange Asuka, where Asuka gets a run at Stephanie Vakir, and they can have some good matches together for the title. So you could even have Asuka beat Io, and then you set up Asuka where she can be a threat towards Stephanie Vakir. Those two can have like kind of a little program, like 3 matches back to back for the title. It'll do nothing but help Stephanie Vakir with Asuka and someone fresh.
All I know is Booker T is going to need some more hand lotion and some paper towel if Stephanie Vakir wins the championship.
He might need that anyways because he's found himself a replacement. It's Lola Vice. So when she does I'm a Latino and runs into the turnbuckle and smushes her ass, you should see Booker. I think he almost blew a blood vessel at Heatwave. Yeah,
I don't think his heart can take it.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. So it's probably good the Devil's Kiss isn't on the program anymore because his heart would explode. But his ball sack first. I'm surprised they gave the Kabuki Warriors a win over Roxanne and Raquel.
I was surprised actually.
But it makes sense because you got to set Asuka up. I think I see an out. Roxanne wins the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, that could be. I don't know. Is there any talk of when Liv's coming back?
There was a backstage segment with Lyra, and Roxanne actually interrupted it. So I think they're setting up the seeds for Lyra and Roxanne. I think Becky should give up the title or vacate it.
You think that'll actually happen?
I'm like, if they're going to do this, do it. Have Becky give up the Intercontinental and fucking have her do some stroke and come in and win the title.
Seth just needs to impregnate her and then she can vacate the title. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah.
She do a real twist and have CM Punk impregnate her.
Ooh.
That too.
That would put a twist into AJ Lee's. That's actually the stipulation. Loser has to pregnate the other's wife.
Well, they're not pregnant.
For winner. Yeah, the pregnancy match. Yeah, well.
You can have CM Punk get Becky pregnant, then AJ Lee comes and hits CM Punk in the nuts. Then that's 3 main events in 1 year. He got nut shouted.
Nice.
Yeah, but how could you get people pregnant? You got hit in the nuts 3 times on a main event.
They have to rename him CM Nut.
Yeah. All the kids are born with like defects.
You know how when they come out to the ring, they have the stats, like how long they've defended the title for, or held the title, or their last win, or they could have CM Punk has taken like 12 nut shots. I don't know if I'll make it to WrestleMania. I got this hematoma growing in my nut.
Got slapped by a woman.
Becky, to be honest, I've heard her jumping and working with her husband. To me, I think she doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship. So I either have her drop it to someone or just have her vacate it. But then you got to do something with Becky because, hey, if you really want to go for the jugular, have her come in, do something where she takes like Stephanie's or Io's place, or she becomes the third person in the match and wins the title. And then her and Seth can go on their little tour, and that opens up the Intercontinental Championship. And then Stephanie Vakir could either win it, or you could set up Roxanne. I just can't see what's the point of her having the Intercontinental Championship.
So you could have Roxanne challenge it and even win, then start setting up Vision versus Judgment Day.
I don't know if that works. Like the Judgment Day like the crew, they don't really come up to the level of Seth's crew.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
They got the wild card of Americano Grande coming in there too. Of Americano Grandes.
They're definitely setting something up with El Grande Americano and Dominic, and looks like it's outside of the Judgment Day, and they're still, behind the scenes. Finn and Dominic, they're not good, so it's only a matter of time before they have their blowout. Yeah, there's lots happening with the Judgment Day. I can't see them going in a program with the Vision. The Vision needs to add another member besides Becky. They need to kind of recuperate because they need the bodies for going into Survivor Series War Games. They don't have enough, so they need to kind of solidify them. And I think if Becky solidify her as the world champion.
I mean, yeah, what else do you do?
I don't want to see Lyra. Again, the backstage segment with Lyra and Bailey, again, those two on screen, I never knew they were good friends. And so this weird stuff between Lyra and Bailey is really retarded. Like, and then Bailey playing like she's a nut job. What they're doing with Bailey, I think it's killing the character.
Is that Bailey character change gonna go over well? Do you think in this day and age with her being cuckoo?
They'll probably give her a title when she comes back.
No, I just mean like the audience. I don't think the audience is really going to like that.
Well, you got to do something with Bailey because she was the good guy, then she was a heel, and then she's a good guy. Now she's playing kind of the in-between person who has a mental health disorder. But I don't know where you go with this. Like, maybe if she gets involved with the Wyatt Six.
Yeah, because she's talking to herself,
Talking to herself.
And we're supposed to be so like she's talking to herself, but we hear her talking to herself, and like I don't know. Yeah, she's talking to what? She has like a thing on her shoulder, telling her what to do.
Where is this going to lead? Is she going to be a heel? Is this going to rejuvenate her to win the title? What does this mean with her and Lyra? All I know is I'm glad that Lyra is not on any card. It's so been nice not seeing her. That's why I've actually enjoyed Nikki Bella. I'd rather have her than Lyra versus Becky or Bailey.
Maybe they're going to set up Bailey to have like a Mick Foley kind of setup going. She'll have 3 characters, a Mankind, Cactus Jack, and a Dude Love.
She could play, I don't know,
someone with a sock puppet.
Well, you could do that. I mean, if she's going to go cuckoo, have a puppet. You could bring back actually Mick Foley, could be her manager.
Bring back Santino.
He's a part of TNA and he has appeared on NXT. So he does appear. So you could bring back Santino. He has to talk sense in her with his puppet.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. I think her story is going to be weird, and I don't think it's going to go over well, and she's going to end up walking out the door on a low.
But the thing is, she's kind of at that place in her career where I don't think you put the rocket behind her anymore. Like, she's kind of more, a stepping stone. It's kind of like the AJ Styles. They're there to kind of put the other guys over. And I think Becky's days are kind of done. Same with, not Becky, Bailey, but even Becky and Nikki, they're kind of here to help enhance the other guys.
Yeah. I really can't wait for the next batch to really, come up because, to me, when I watch, I really don't care about Becky or Nikki Bella. I don't care about them. They're just boring matches.
Why you would hold back and not have Stephanie Vicure on a premium live event where you could highlight her and build freaking momentum for her to go into even a title match at WrestlePalooza. Like, who cares if she's not even fighting for the title? But it's a shame that they didn't have her, featured on the event. Like, she's an international star. But look at the Kabuki Warriors. Them came out in Paris. Look at how the fans, they're really like the French, like their Japanese ladies. Like, look at the cheer they got. And look at the boos Nikki got because the crowds appreciate the good workhorses. They can see it. And the Kabuki Warriors they're fun in the ring.
They are. And actually, I was really surprised at some of the moves that Asuka was putting on. Like, she was doing some like somersaults and flips over the other person, and then all of a sudden just like smoothly walked in or landed into an armbar. And I was like, how the fuck did she do that? Like, that was really good.
Kyrie's elbow. I think she's got the best elbow drop in the biz. Actually, what would be good is if Jay does join Raw, or if Jimmy joins Raw, then they could bring up the Usos, spice up that tag division that's lacking.
Yeah.
Gets Jay out of the single picture for a while. I think that's a win-win.
Take that rocket off his ass. Just stop it.
CM Punk, for the last, year or two, he's really been feuding with Seth Rollins. They're going to have to start looking at putting an end on his feud with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, how long is that going to go for? Like, it's been going on for quite a while.
This November will be 2 years. They've had kind of a thing. I believe CM Punk will eventually get the better of it in the end, but I just don't know when they're going to do that. What I'm saying is I feel like CM Punk is being wasted, just been feuding with Seth Rollins when there's so many other wrestlers he could get in a program with. and do some really good matches and some good feuds. Like, I want to see him and Gunter reestablish themselves. I want to see CM Punk. I think him and Randy Orton can have a good program together. Even him and AJ and Dom. I want to see CM Punk do some stuff with Dom. And him and LA Knight, I think, can have some great stuff together.
Yeah.
I'm kind of ready for the Punk and Rollins. I'm ready for it to end.
Punk had that decent feud with Drew McIntyre last year.
The overarching feud has always been Seth Rollins. And it's since he returned, there was shit right from his return the November before last November. So we're going on 2 years. There's been kind of a back and forth kind of contention talk about CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Yes, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk kind of had the first for Punk, but there was always a Seth Rollins, and I'm ready for that to.
Well, maybe the entrance of LA Knight kind of shakes things up a little bit and kind of gives them like a little bit different flavor. And like, I guess the good thing that comes out of the 4-way is that they all hate each other. And now you've got another extra person to hate on. So, that could take, Seth Rollins kind of away from CM Punk or vice versa. And now enter LA Knight. And now LA Knight's kind of at odds with everybody. So, because he just wants the belt, hey, he wants the championship. So this is kind of good too, because now it just gives CM Punk another person to fight one-on-one or feud with as well.
No, I think Turk covered it all there. That was a good take on it. I agree with it.
All right, that will end the show. If you enjoyed this discussion, leave a comment, hit the like button, and of course, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us grow in this community. Also, this episode of Off the Rails Wrestling has been approved unofficially by Bret the Hitman Hart. Thanks for watching. On that note,
what I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, out of shape, sweat hog, noise down, hit the music.